You are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants will take on the 0-15 Philadelphia Eagles. Why do the Philadelphia Eagles 0-15? They suck. And welcome to the Gridiron, everybody. Anybody willing to spend a little bit of time with me here late on a Monday night, 10:30 Eastern time, or if you wind up watching the replay, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. Just spend a little bit of time with me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go on here for about 30 minutes. I just want to talk about we're talking New York Giants. We have to talk injuries, right? So I want to go over some injuries here. I totally forgot about this. I did my video last night after the game was over, and pretty much I totally overlooked Tomlin Fox's. I mean, the dude was shot out of a freaking cannon on the hit he put on. I forgot who it was. Trenton Irwin of the Cincinnati Bengals after he caught the pass. I mean, he looked like he came off the sideline or something, but man, he put a hit on him, caused the fumble. Giants recovered it. Now the Bengals are at midfield, right around midfield. Down by 3 points, easily could have gotten into field goal range and maybe tied it up. I don't know if they would have tried to just that's the problem. Kicking a field goal because you go into overtime in preseason. That's not exactly what you're looking for, but but they were on the move, and somebody on the Giants had to make a play. Tomlin Fox made a play. Congratulations. I mean, I'll tell you what, I can't say he cemented his position on the final 53-man roster, but he certainly helped himself. I mean, I'm sure he avoided the final 5 guys who are going to get cut tomorrow, all right, to bring the squad down to 80 players. But congratulations to him. Now, we got Kayvon Thibaut. Okay. Now, Carl Banks is not really happy. He called it a dirtbag play. It's not a dirty. I mean, I guess you'd call it a dirty play. As long as it's like, I guess they say within the tackle box, you can go low. I really kind of wish they would do something about it. The one thing I will say, okay, is that the guy ran at Kayvon. Kayvon was pretty much facing the guy. So it's not like, the guy was coming at Kayvon and, something like that. I guess, I don't know if he's got to be coached up better or become aware of it better or use his hands better or exactly what he needs to do. But, the guy was running at Kayvon, right? It wasn't like he hit him from the side, hit him from the back. I mean, is it something you'd like to see to get maybe a type of block eliminated? Yeah. I mean, the guy came at him, could have took Kayvon, standing up, hit him, hit him in the shoulders or whatever, but that's the Giants do it too. So, I mean, it's one of those things that can be avoided, if you use your hands properly, and hopefully Kayvon will start learning, how to avoid blocks like this in the future so he doesn't get hit like that again. But, I mean, you can call it a dirty play, dirtbag play, whatever you want, but I mean, it's legal, right? And the Giants use it as well too. Carl Banks, the former All-Pro linebacker who won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, I was talking with Bob Papa in the Believe podcast about the block on the Giants rookie pass rusher by the Bengals tight end Thaddeus Moss in the Bengals preseason game on Sunday. It was not Carl Banks said it was not a dirty play per se. He says it's a dirtbag play. Okay. A lot of my contemporaries, guys like Marcus Spears, Manuel Acho, they were going on and on about it. The reality is this, and I think Dan Orlovsky had it best. It's a legal play. You may not like it as a defensive player, and people are starting to factor in defensive backs can't do X, Y, and Z. That's a different situation. It's more of a don't hate the player, hate the game type thing. You know what I mean? So it's not, I mean, what Thaddeus Moss did was legal. Okay. That's what he was coached up to do. That's what he did. I'm sure he had no intention whatsoever upon going in, I'm going to take the dude's knee out, and hopefully end the season. I'm certainly not saying that at all. That's what he was coached up to do. That's what he was supposed to do on that play. That's what he did very effectively. Okay. Things like just happen, right? Hopefully, in the future, I said Thibodeau gets, coached up or becomes better aware, uses his hands better to defend himself off from a block like that, right? And that doesn't happen to him again. But I mean, I said, it wasn't like he clipped him from behind, hit him from the side or something. He came straight at him. If you look at the replay, the guy's running right at him. That's what he was supposed to do. That's what he did, right? Sometimes bad things happen like this. Unfortunately, all too often, we're talking the New York Giants and we're talking injuries. Far too often, things like this happen. Banks ultimately made it clear that Thibodeau should be better prepared to avoid those type of low blocks. You got to use your hands, So just got to be prepared for stuff like that. But hopefully, I mean, the article that I got here, okay, is from Giants.com. It's called Thibodeau's day-to-day with an MCL sprain, okay? So thankfully, he avoided the worst. All right, so I mean, all in all, you can be pissed off, you can be this, you can be that, or whatever. Alex Rinaldi, go Giants! You got it, brother. Rinaldi, I like the last name. One of my best friends in high school was Ben Rinaldi. We both moved. Both moved to South Jersey. We both lived in Long Island. I was from Smith or Wisconsin. Okay, he was out by Rocky Point. We both moved. I moved here in 8th grade. I believe he moved here in the 9th grade. We became really good friends because we both had the same type of accent. Nobody in New Jersey, South Jersey, had the kind of accent that we had, and became really good friends with him. Sadly, my friend Ben Rinaldi, he went into the Army and in a drunk driving accident. He was in the passenger seat. I think he believed he got launched with a windshield. He passed away very, very sadly. He was probably only 19 or 20 years old, but I remember him well. Great, great guy. So I like your Alex. Love your last name, Rinaldi. I'll always remember my name. My friend from high school, Ben Rinaldi. Biagio Rinaldi. Great, great person. But I mean, Kayvon, he avoided a scare. Dable said he said, I'd say it's day to day, really. So, I mean, I've seen stuff where it's 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully, not hopefully. I'm sure we're not going to see him, even if he's okay. I'm sure we wouldn't dare see him in a game finale against the Jets. Maybe if we're lucky, guys, we still got a couple weeks left, before the opening game against the Tennessee Titans. So, we got 3 weeks left, a little less than 3 weeks. Okay, so maybe possibly he'll be back by then. Who knows? But Dable said, I'm not forecasting when a player can come back or not come back. I mean, everything is a hamstring pull is different, and MCLs, everything is different. It's a lot of it's like if it's a broken bone, you cast it up, 6 weeks. Usually, right? I mean, a sprain, pulled hamstring. Some of those are, they're all kind of tricky. So I know he'll come in and get treatment. We'll take it day by day, and when he's ready to go out there, that's when we'll put him back out there. So, I mean, I love his attitude and all that, but his health hasn't been really a rock of granite so far this training camp and this spring season during the spring and all of that. So he's had a couple injuries. So hopefully it doesn't linger into the season. But we wish him obviously nothing but the best. But unfortunately, inside linebacker Darren Beavers is out for a longer haul. He was doing a 6th-round pick. I mean, I'm not saying the guy was going to be a Hall of Famer or All-Pro or nothing, but a 6th-round pick, he was just being very impressive. Very impressive, especially for being a 6th-round pick. And of course, he was he got hurt. He sustained a torn anterior cruciate ligament, or the dreaded ACL, in the third quarter, ending his rookie season before it even officially began. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, all the draft class, the Giants just keep losing like one guy after another. I know it's football and injuries happen and all that, but it would be really nice if just 1 year the Giants got kind of just a little lucky. I'm not saying we need, total health or anything, just a little on the luck side. Wouldn't it be nice one year just to actually have the majority of the team just kind of stay kind of healthy? Wouldn't that be amazing? Unbelievable. Let's see here. Thibaut, it was hurt with 11:04 remaining in the second quarter when Bengals tight end Thaddeus Moss went low on a block and Thibaut's knee bent awkwardly. So he grabbed his knee as if it was as big. I mean, he was down, grabbing it, this, that, and really wasn't looking too good. They brought the card out and everything like that. It's like, oh man, the dude is still down. They got the card. It's like, wow, right? But Thibaut walked off under his own power, and initial examination by the team's medical staff. He went to the tent, came out, was standing on the sideline for a little while, smiling, joking, and everything like that. So looks like we avoided something big time, okay? So we got Dable said, all right, those are tough blocks. The blocks that are coming from across the line of scrimmage within the tackle box, Dable said, you've got to see it. And then you've got to do a great job of trying to play with your hands. Guy comes in low, I mean, not many guys can jump over that, right? What you got to do is, you got to play with your hands. You see the guy coming in low with you, you put your hands out, and you block the player, you stop his momentum, or you slow him down or whatever, and you get around him, right? But he's kind of, that's what he's coached to do. That's what the play is designed to do. So it's unfortunate that Darius went down, but that's all part of the game. So Thibaut will miss practice time, including a joint workout with the Jets on Thursday and a preseason finale with the Jets on Sunday. Okay. So at least thankfully the Giants have some decent pass rushing depth with Jihad Ward, Ellison Smith. Of course, neither one of those guys played on against the Bengals. Oshane Ximines, Azeez Ojulari, who practiced for the first time last week after he was activated off the reserve non-football injury list. Quincy Roche and rookie free agent Toman Fox. Okay, so so the Giants got they have some depth of as I said. I mean, Ellison Smith, Jihad Ward didn't play. Kayvon Thibaut is not going to play Sunday. So, I mean, once again, thankfully we got Azeez back, thankfully. But the injuries just keep on rolling on with the New York Giants. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Let's see. We got Alex said, my dad is a big Giants fan. He came to America from Italy in 1954. Yeah, I don't know. I know my friend Ben, his somewhere along the line, his family came from obviously from Europe. Wasn't his parents though. They were here. I think they were born here. So I'm not exactly sure when my friend Ben, his family came from across the pond, shall we say. But I know his parents were born here as well too. But I know his father was a big Giants fan too, because they came from Long Island, right? They moved from Long Island, Rocky Point, way out on the island, and they moved here to South Jersey. And great guy. He was a Giants fan too. And I got a couple of articles here. This one's from New York, BigBlueView.com. They got 10 risers and 5 fallers. Giants players whose stock improved or dropped after Sunday. The risers: David Sills and Alex Bachman-Turner overdrive. Both got kudos for their tremendous production on Sunday night. Sills always seems to be on the periphery of the roster. Yes, that's true. With good training camps, preseason is not quite enough to land him on a 53-man roster. At some point, if this season is so much about making a Daniel Jones decision, doesn't Sill's obvious rapport with Jones have to count for something? As for Bachman, I don't know how he finds his way to the final 53, but Sunday gave him a chance. Yeah, I mean, the guys like him, I mean, C.J. Board, Sills, Bachman, they just don't seem to have quite maybe it, to get on the final 53, but they wind up being on the practice squad. They just seem to wind up hanging around every year. And of course, if we wind up having a plethora of injuries, they're on the practice squad, then we wind up calling them up. It's just that, they just don't seem to quite have enough, even with good special teams play, to make the final 53. But hey, anything's possible. I mean, somebody's got to take Sterling Shepard's spot for the beginning of the season. So we'll wind up waiting to see. Darius Slayton, does he wind up on the final 53? We'll have to wait and see. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see who they wind up keeping as far as with the wide receiver group. Very, very interesting. Azeez Ojulari and Blake Martinez were risers. Both key defensive players coming back from injury made their preseason debut. Ojulari, who started camp on the non-football injury list, played 7 snaps and was a handful to block. Good. Martinez, coming back with torn ACL, played 8 snaps in running situations, and I believe he made 1 tackle as well, too. Toman Fox, and there's a video here, and his parents. They're kind of all jacked up and everything. Fox certainly deserves some attention from the crushing hit that he sealed the Giants' victory. Hey, it was a good. I'll tell you what, man. He saw it. He came flying in. I said, it looked like he came shooting in off the sideline or something. Nobody touched him. Nice hit. Knocked the ball loose. Giants recovered it. Game over. Good job. Antonio Williams, 5 carries, 26 yards. Another 7 receptions for 46 more. All right. So he had 72 yards. He touched the ball 12 times, 72 yards, 6 yards a touch. Very good. Very, very good. Williams certainly helped his case for making the roster as one of the Giants' backup running backs. Yeah, because the killer bees didn't play. Okay. Brightwell, right? Saquon Barkley, they didn't want it. Breida, they didn't play. The 3 Bs weren't in there, right? So you had Corbin and Williams. Those are the guys. And I believe Potscummer got in there as well, too. So, but Antonio Williams definitely helped his case. The back up offensive linemen, especially Devery Hamilton and Will Holden. We had guys calling guys in from Wawa. We had guys off the street. Anybody was over 300 pounds, just suit up for the Giants. We'll put you in there and see what you can do. Yeah, the Giants gave up 1 sack against Tyrod Taylor for -1 yards, a couple quarterback hits. Hey, you throw it 54 times? Were we 43? 43 for 54, so I think you dropped back like 54 times, right? We threw the ball 54 times, too. Obviously, we dropped back a little bit more than that. But you drop back more than 50 times. You give up 1 sack. We got guys in there. We got like the 5th and 6th string center in there. I don't care what the other team, if they're second stringers or third stringers. You got a 6th string center in there. You got Roy Mbaetika in there. He's hardly ever played before, ever. And you got him in there. I was a left tackle, I believe it was. We're not giving up sacks. Davis Webb's running around, completing passes. Very, very impressive job. Devery Hamilton proved his value and versatility for the 2nd straight week, starting at left guard and then swinging out to left tackle. Holden, a veteran tackle added after Matt Gano was forced to leave the team, has not shown that he can also be an emergency guard and center. He played center the entire second half on Sunday, something he did for the first time in his career on Friday. Are you kidding me? First time in his career on Friday, and then he plays all second half at center. Unbelievable. And Jamie Gillan, the Scottish Hammer. He's been the only punter on the Giants roster for months. And all along, I still haven't been certain he would win the regular season gig. Because the one thing, he's got a nice leg, but you got to team it up. You got to team up the length with the height. You can boom at 60 yards. Okay. But if you outkick your coverage and the guy catches the ball and your coverage team is still 20 yards away from the guy with the ball, he's got a head of steam. He can make a couple moves, make a couple guys miss, and who knows? The Giants special teams the coverage units have not been very good. They had a 73-yard kickoff return against the Bengals, a couple long punt returns against the Patriots. They got to definitely have to clean that up. But it says, I was shocked but plus his ability he showcased on Sunday even to handle kickoffs. 3 or 4 of his kickoffs were touchbacks. And place kicks in an emergency adds a tremendous amount of value. Yes, he kicked the extra point or extra points. He kicked a 31-yard field goal. So, that's value right there. Julian Love was the holder. I'll tell you what, duct tape, Julian Love, gotta love him. Colin Johnson, 3 receptions on 4 targets for 41 yards, including a juggling contested 23-yard grab. The third-year receiver and former Jacksonville Jaguars star continues to impress. Now, he had 7 receptions, in the first game. So in the first 2 preseason games, he's got himself 10 catches. So he's making a name for himself to try to get on the roster. Tall guy, right? The Giants could use that. So keep an eye on him. Fallers, Darius Slayton, the wide receiver, was not listed among those Giants who would not play Sunday night against the Bengals due to injury. Yet the 4th-year wide receiver did not play a single offensive or a special team snap on Sunday. Yeah, that's not good. But could that be bad news for Slayton and his legion of supporters? So, that's, it's going to be very interesting to see who the Giants keep in the final 53. And not only that, who they keep on the practice squad. All right. Jordan Akins. Ricky Seals-Jones and Jordan Akins. They bring these 2 tight ends in. It's like, where are they? The veteran tight end played only 8 late game snaps. Wonder if he should have packed a bag with roster cuts from 85 to 80 players coming on Tuesday. The cornerback depth. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Cornerback depth. I said this in kudos and wet willies, but none of the backup cornerbacks stood out in a positive way. Zion Gilbert played 52 snaps, but without rewatching the game, if I'm not sure he did anything good with those snaps. The quality depth the Giants have it, in the cornerback, position is certainly going to need to be addressed. That's for sure. In the upcoming draft, upcoming seasons, they're going to need to get a little more quality depth. We lost a lot of good, we lost some good play. We obviously re-signed Jabrill Peppers, let go James Bradbury, let go Logan Ryan. We let some good quality talent go, so it's Fallers. Oh, this guy, Tyrod Taylor. After all those noise created last week with Coach Dable, Tyrod Taylor might get some first-team practice. The veteran was by far the Giants' 3rd best quarterback on Sunday night. Daniel Jones did very good against the second-string Cincinnati Bengals offense, and the Davis Webb. Woo! I'll tell you, man, was that Joe Montana out there? Or was that Davis Webb? And then finally, we have Kenny Golladay. Yeah. This might be his last season. I know we can let him go after this season. We'll save close to about $7 million. There's going to be a lot of dead cap space with him, but we can let him go, and we'll save close to $7 million. So we'll have to keep an eye on Kenny Golladay. He had 21 snaps with no targets, so that's not, not impressive. Okay. Then we got a couple more guys here I wanted to go over here. What we got? Okay, we got some risers and some fallers. Daniel Jones. Jones has been polarizing this offseason. Even in the first preseason game, his performance was praised by some and dismissed by others. There's no way to interpret his performance in this game. It didn't matter who the competition was on the other side. Jones operated the offense efficiently, and effectively. He was smart when he had to escape the pocket and got out of bounds on a scramble. He was decisive in his reads and delivered a lot of passes that allowed the receiver to succeed. It was a good sign for the embattled quarterback, and it should be a source of confidence going into the final week of the preseason. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays at all in the final game against the Jets. He can use whatever whatever practice he can get. So it'll be very interesting to see if he does wind up playing. Another riser was Davis Webb. In Webb's second stint with the Giants, he looks more athletic, moving around on the field and in the pocket. He was also looked to make plays and distributed the ball to multiple receivers. Absolutely. He finished the game after a couple of series were given to Tyrod Taylor. All right. He completed 22 of 27 passes, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also dealt very well with an extremely makeshift offensive line. Oh, my goodness. Makeshift. That's an understatement of the year. That included a guy playing center for the first time, had only been with the team for a few days. I mean, it's unbelievable. Just bring him in. Never played center before. Guy played center. I mean, just simply amazing. Goes the coaching. Coaching was huge. Absolutely huge. Alex Bachman was a riser, right? Bachman remains a long shot to stick around on the roster, but there is no denying that he helped his stock by being the most productive receiver on the field Sunday night. He hauled in both of Webb's touchdown passes en route to an 11-catch, 122-yard performance and 2 TDs. He displayed strong hands and good route running. He understood how to find holes in coverage and settle in the window so that the quarterback could locate him. With guys like Colin Johnson, David Sills having good performances as well, it was important for Bachman Turner Overdrive to keep his name in the light. Another riser was Kayvon Thibaut. Thibaut flashed the speed and explosiveness he would expect from a high draft pick edge rusher. He had a rush where he bull rushed the tackle. His next opportunity, he faked inside with his hands, dipped to get underneath the hands of the tackle, and was able to force the quarterback to get rid of the ball before he was ready. So, obviously we're not talking whatever you want to call it. He hasn't played 2 preseason games, 5 sacks, 3 quarterback. We're not talking that, but there's a lot of ways to affect the quarterback, and he's showing that. There's an argument that should have been drawn a holding penalty on another one. All right. He also was strong at the point of attack. He was able to maintain his gap and even push back the blocker, but he's got to do a better job, with those in the tackle blocks, right, when the guy comes low on him. What was most impressive was his coverage skills. On more than a couple of occasions, he was out in coverage and looked fluid, covering tight ends or dropping into his zone areas. Thibaut suffered the MCL injury and will be sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks, but the Giants are undoubtedly thankful that it wasn't something worse. Yes, we all are thankful. Jay Crowder was a riser. All right, well, he's going to need to be a riser, I'll tell you what, especially after Beavers got hurt. While many people have been talking about the rookie interior linebackers during camp, Crowder has been quietly putting together a great camp. That was on display against the Bengals as he was in the backfield making life miserable for ball carriers. He looks more decisive in his reads and shows the explosiveness he displayed during his time at the University of Georgia. He may be able to keep the rookies off his heels if it continues, so that's good. He led the team in tackles last year. He had some struggles. He didn't, by PFF, he did not grade out very well at all. He led the team in tackles, but he had some struggles. All right. Darnay Holmes was a riser. Holmes has been manning the slot with authority all training camp. While many thought rookie Cordell Flott would come in and man that position, it has been Holmes, his football IQ, and his knack for finding the ball that has kept him on the field. In the game, he shut down interior routes and made sure he tackles were when needed. His ability as a safety and cornerback made him ideal for the position. Now that he is given a chance, he's making the most of it. So, very, very good. Now we got a couple fallers here. Okay. Daniel Bellinger had that interception. The ball went right through his hands. Could Daniel Jones have put it on target a little bit better? Yep, absolutely. Daniel Jones even admitted that when he was talking to the press guys after the game. He admitted that he could have put the ball a little bit better. But the thing is, it looked like he went right through both his hands. Okay. Got to do a better job of that, Daniel. The previous tight end for the Giants fell out of favor with the teams and fans because of issues with drops. Yep. And the thing is, drops, but sometimes the balls would go right through his hands, and there would be a defensive player right behind him to pick off the pass, just like what happened here with Daniel Bellinger. The very scenario Bellinger found himself in on Sunday is what exactly ran Evan Ingram out of town. A simple pass from Daniel Jones on a crossing route ricocheted off Bellinger's hands and into the arms of a defender. Now, let's give credit where credit's due. That was a very, very good interception, right? He did a very good job, concentrating on the ball, making the dive, catching the ball, getting his arm. You could have called it either way. Either could have. I mean, if they said the ball hit the ground, I wouldn't have argued with it. If they said he got his hands underneath it, I really wouldn't have argued with it, okay? They said it was a clean interception, right? It is what it is, okay? Got to give him a lot of credit. It was a very good interception. Okay, simple pass from Daniel Jones on a crossing route, ricocheted off his hands and into the arms of the defender. You could hear that the audible groans from a fan base who remembers those types of plays all too well. Yep. Bellinger has proven decent so far as a blocker, but not devastating. So if he is to be a legitimate factor as a tight end of this team, he will need to produce as a receiver as well. And 2 catches for 10 yards and an interception will not cut it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wide receiver C.J. Board is a faller. Board played Jekyll and Hyde Sunday night. He could flash some good return skills on one kickoff return, even though it was called back due to a penalty from Oshane Ximines. Oshane Ximines and his penalties. On the next kickoff return, he coughed up the ball and put the defense in the worst position, which led right to a field goal. I mean, the interception from Bellinger led to a field goal. This fumble from Board led to a field goal. I mean, the Giants wind up winning by 3 points, but those interception and this fumble that they gave the Bengals another 6 points right there. Poor coverage on the kickoff led to another field goal. Got to clean that stuff up. That's 9 points basically the Giants gave the Bengals. The Bengals had like almost nothing in the first half, but somehow the Giants gave them, the 3 field goals, 2 on a long kickoff return and the other 2 on turnovers. 9 points the Giants gave them. You got to clean that stuff up. That's what good teams do. Good teams clean that stuff up, and they wind up winning. Thankfully the Giants wind up winning, although it doesn't count. But they got to clean that stuff up. Because when the bullets are live and these games are for real, things like that are going to make teams wind up losing ball games, right? Let's see. There are so many options for the Giants that it can be plays like these from Mr. Board, okay? Make the difference between making the roster or making the waiver wire. Now, also, you can see special teams need to be special this year for the Giants. As you can see, the frustration on head coach's Brian Dable's face as reacted to the lost possession. Yeah, he was not very happy at all about that. As I said, when you're one of those guys and you're right on the bubble, I mean, you can whatever, have 7, 8 catches in a preseason game, this, that, and the other thing, but it's, if you wind up coughing up the ball, right? That's, can't have that. That's when you wind up getting cut, right? Maybe Dable's not cutting you. You're cutting yourself. So, I mean, the Giants got to do a much better job at that, without question. But all in all, it's a very, very good game. You can't complain. Can't complain at all. And that's a little over 30 minutes, guys. Anybody at all that spent time with me here, I greatly appreciate it. Or anybody at all watches the replay of this, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys freaking rock. And I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you to anybody or everybody who watched this. You guys stay safe out there, okay? And go.